Next on Worcester News tonight, a man is in custody in Northborough after approaching two girls in the woods. Plus, a former Celtics player opens up on his story about overcoming drug addiction. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. We begin tonight in Northborough, where following a search, police have arrested a man they say made sexual remarks to two 16-year-old girls. Police say it happened this afternoon when the two girls were on the trail between the Algonquin Regional High School athletic fields and Route 20, known as Stirrup Brook Trail. Police say the girls were not harmed or chased, but the suspect did make sexual remarks. Police used a canine unit to help search the area and eventually located the suspect at his house. 33-year-old Yachi Moss has been arrested and is facing multiple charges, including enticing a child under the age of 16 for sex. An investigation tonight into what caused a fire in Charlton earlier today. The 3-alarm fire broke out just before 5 this evening at Dresser Hill Farm. Crews worked for several hours examining the scene in the back of the wood frame home. Attached to that home was a vacant farm stand, which is completely destroyed. It's where officials say the fire was contained.
Guys were able to knock the fire down really quick, extinguish the fire, and basically we're doing a quick mop up, and we're able to get other mutual aid companies here. They worked together, and were able to extinguish the fire pretty quickly and get it under control. So it was really a good stop for the guys.
There were no injuries, and the cause is unknown at this time. In Millbury Wednesday, a former Boston Celtic opens up about his struggle with substance abuse. Chris Herron was the keynote speaker at a substance abuse prevention resource fair at Millbury High School. Herron was a standout player at Fresno State and in the NBA, but battled substance abuse throughout his career. He shared his emotional story tonight with the crowd and got emotional at times.
Only hope in the message, but there's also the prevention piece, and the certain parts of my story that are scary, and hopefully they walk away knowing that it can happen to anybody. It was never my intentions to go through what I went through and put my family through it with me. But there was hope at the end, and hopefully they take that away as well.
Following Herron's speech, a panel discussion on a number of topics, including the effects of addiction, was held. State Senator Michael Moore was a co-sponsor of the event. Some principals are looking to adapt the Worcester Public Schools cell phone policy for the next school year. Right now, students are only allowed to keep cell phones in their lockers, but some educators say the current rule may be unrealistic. Our Patricia Nicholas spoke with principals and students today and has more.
Some inside the Worcester Public Schools say changing times call for an update to the system's existing cell phone policy.
Updating the existing policy, which is outdated, assuming that all kids with cell phones will simply keep them in the locker all day, which I'm not sure is realistic in the 21st century.
Educators we spoke with agree cell phones can be a distraction and students should not be texting or taking calls in class. But they say cell phones can also enhance the educational experience.
When the kids look up outside information or consult other resources about the history that they're trying to learn about, or even looking up words.
At Worcester Vocational Technical High School, Principal Kyle Brenner says students are using their phones as tools for their trade. He says schools should capitalize on students already having their own technology.
Most students coming through, over 90% of them have technology in their pocket. Rather than looking at a one-to-one and trying to invest in technology for every student that comes in, they're walking in with that technology.
Some students say they agree with updating the cell phone ban, but they say the current rules should stay the same for younger students.
Like starting as a 7th grader, it was not about cell phones. It was mainly about engaging and learning, and sort of being involved in certain activities that you can pursue in college.
I feel like once you get to 12th grade, I feel like it should be more lenient because you're about to go to college, you're about to become an adult or a young adult, and you should have a bit of responsibility.
Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
The Uxbridge Police Department is asking for the public's help in identifying a suspect accused of using counterfeit money. Take a look at this photo. The man you see here is accused of going to a convenience store in Uxbridge and using 2 counterfeit $100 bills to purchase 10 $20 scratch tickets. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the Uxbridge Police Department. Connecticut Fire Marshal is trying to figure out what caused a fire that killed at least 80,000 chickens at a farm in Lebanon. The fire broke out last night at Kolkoff Egg Farms in Lebanon. The company is the largest egg producer in New England. It took more than 100 firefighters about 4 hours to put out the flames. No people were hurt. A fire there back in 1989 killed more than 216,000 chickens. Worcester's only shooting range is open. The indoor 9-lane range is part of the gun parlor's business. The owner says his state-of-the-art facility is safe. Our Brittany Schaefer spent the day at the range and has the story.
I've just never been at a place like this before.
A $1 million state-of-the-art shooting range is open in Worcester.
No expense was spared when we built this facility. Everything is the highest of quality, down to the ventilation system, to the bullet trap, to the target retrievers.
What I thought of the range, beautiful. Very high-tech, if you ask me.
The gun parlor shooting range is the only public indoor range in Worcester County.
I go to a gun range. I belong to a club down in Whitensville, and it's outdoors. It's nice, but that's the way to go because you can go anytime you want.
Owner Justin Gabriel says opening a shooting range in Worcester came with some opposition, but he says he surpassed all safety regulations in his facility.
In order to open up this facility, the city had placed regulations in order to be able to open up the facility to keep it safe. I went above and beyond. Right now we house 40 security cameras, fully gated facility, alarm system.
It was kind of cool when I heard that they were coming up, with a place like this in Worcester. Like Worcester's so tight about, guns and everything like that, so it's kind of surprised, actually.
In order to shoot at this range, guests must have a valid Massachusetts gun license. Gabriel says there are currently more than 7,000 people registered in Worcester alone.
In Massachusetts, to have the most state-of-the-art range right now, it attracts people. And it attracts people because the people that are in the shooting sports want to do it as recreational fun, take their mind off stuff, to be able to come in here and shoot.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
A meeting is held Wednesday morning about efforts to replace a missing World War II Veterans Memorial in Worcester.
This is a slam dunk. Let's get it done. It's been 57 years. I need to bring my comrades home.
The memorial listed the names on 147 African Americans from Worcester who served in World War II. It has been missing for more than 50 years. Wednesday, several city organizers came together to discuss putting it back up. Several organizations have committed to not only funding the project, but building the memorial. A 130-year-old building in Northborough is saved from the wrecking ball. Residents in the town approved spending $2.4 million to buy the White Cliffs mansion. Our Andy Madison has more.
Same architecture. It's a place with a lot of history and a lot of memories.
I got married there 40 years ago. In a town like this, it's a gem, and it's something that I think needs to be recognized as a value.
The White Cliffs mansion has been part of Northborough since the 1800s. In recent years, the mansion has been empty. It was even put up for sale. Demolishing the building looked like a real possibility.
Library trustees James Keeney for 3
until the
years.
town bought the property earlier this week. A move saving the mansion from becoming history.
If it didn't pass on Monday, there'd be bulldozers here now. That close.
Residents voted to spend more than $2 million in funds for the property. A packed meeting forced the vote late Monday night, but was a relief for people like Vicki Martelli, who works near the mansion.
We're really, really, really thrilled that it's not going to be torn down.
Andrew Clark is part of the Community Preservation Committee. After fighting off demolition, the town has 3 years to come up with a plan.
We have some time to develop all the different opportunities and let the town weigh in on what they want and what people want and how we can best utilize the structure.
I've seen some great places in Worcester that have been well done, down by the Canal District. There's reasons people go there now that weren't there before.
Andy Madison,